Paul Pluff from Smith & Wesson loves to hunt, but what he loves even more is hunting with a handgun. And last season, a bruiser of a deer eluded Paul, so he's back out here to try again. Paul has been hunting for the past couple of days in various blinds around camp, but the deer weren't quite mature enough for Paul's taste, so Wade decided to switch gears.
You know, Wade decided that enough was enough and we weren't going to sit any longer, so Wade kind of came in and asked me if I wanted to go out and do some rattling and see if we could rattle some bucks in. And it's something that Wade and I have been doing for the last few years, and I'm always up for it. And so that's what we did. We hit out and we hit probably 5 or 6 different areas and rattled it.
We're gonna go back around here. We don't have any wind really at all today to play with, so let's do what we can, see if we can't get in there. We've had an encounter here before.
We have. It was quite the interesting one.
Yeah, see if we can't have a better one this time.
You know, rattling in a 2-man formation, kind of like what we're doing here, is something that requires a little bit of a communication. And we've made mistakes like this. Paul and I are addicted to this type of hunting style. We have done this several times. We've rattled in some great bucks in the past. We enjoy this type of hunting because it's action-packed. We're always got something going on, and even when we're rattling and don't get anything in an area, we still had what we call a successful set, and we're moving to the next one with equally high hope.
Hey, Paul, let's keep moving a little bit, about 100 yards. We're gonna slide through this next Darrell over there. It's kind of a bad break running into those does. Big deer behind us, turn. Got it. Big shoot, big shoot.
He needs to come out of that grass. I can't get his body.
Well, Wade and Paul just rattled in a big buck, but unfortunately the tall grass hindered any kind of shot, and the buck went his separate way.
I was following him with the dot. The problem is if I could just see some more of his body, I could have made a shot placement.
I never saw anything below here.
Yeah, I mean, I had the dot following his head through the grass. It just...
You know, the strategies behind rattling for me, they're very simple. You know, you rattle quietly and softly in the early season when a lot of the bucks are setting up dominance. You begin to pick that pace and that cadence and that noise up as you get into the peak of the rut and watch the different responses out there. I like to use real antlers versus plastic antlers. You know, I'm not saying the plastic doesn't work, because it absolutely does, but I love to use real rattling horns when I have a choice. I like to move often and really get into areas where I've seen rutting activity. And I like to make everybody know this can go down so fast that it can be over, either by mistake by us or with a perfect shot, that it can blow your mind away. Because when you hit those antlers, it's no telling how fast they're gonna come in, and you better be ready.
Now, Paul is hunting with his Thompson Center Encore Pro Hunter pistol. This Thompson Center platform is interchangeable with a multitude of stock options, frames, and barrel configurations available. You can find out more at tcarms.com. And it looks like a deer is about to stare down the barrel of one.
As we set up on this little corner of this flat where I had been seeing a lot of deer chasing does, I knew we were probably going to get a response. What deer may show up, I really had no idea. But as I hit the antlers together, man, an old biggin came in.
When you're into the rut season like we are here, they come in like a laser ship. I mean, they just rocketed right into there. And you got to be quick on the trigger, and you got to be really watching, because I never see it anyplace else. Usually the deer kind of come around and they ease herself in to see what's going on. But when Wade does his thing, they come running in like it's going to be like their last dinner or last meal, and they're just anxious to see what's happening, and they're just rifling in there.
I don't know. It sure looked like he dropped his back end, didn't it?
Yeah, it was very much a frontal shot on it, though.
Was it? Should have folded him. I don't know. I don't know.
You know, when somebody misses, it's okay. Things happen. Buck fever. I mean, just whatever happens, who knows? Misses always happen, but I would sure rather see a clean miss than I would see a shot that, nicks an animal or wounds one. But in that case right there, as Paul dropped that hammer on there, I had already seen this buck hit the ground in my mind. I was already like, oh, we got him, because that buck came on a string. I mean, when you script the way a buck comes to antlers, that was it. So as you look at rattling as a hunting technique, keep a few things in mind, like I've always talked about. Early in the season, I like to tinkle the horns. If you're hunting an area where there's not necessarily absolutely giant bucks, don't make noise like probably you saw me do on this little piece here, where I'm trying to simulate bucks 140, 150, 160 inches. I'm trying to simulate a big buck fight. If you have the option, use real antlers. I'm a big believer in that. The sound, the cadence, the tone, even the smoke that we talk about that can be generated when real antlers are rubbing together, all play a big factor in that. And once again, I'm not saying you can't have success with rattling bags or the little hand rattling sets, because you can. It's just a personal preference on what I like. But know for a fact that rattling in a lot of different hunting situations, on the ground, the way we do it, moving around in a tree stand, is a deadly technique to be able to call in some great whitetail deer.
Well, you can bet Paul will be back next year, handgun in tow, to have another shot at a Texas whitetail. We'll close the book on this entry of the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries for now.